Hey, welcome guys. We are in chapter 12 of our textbook, Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud Revealed. And in this chapter, we're working on using clipping masks, and we will also be working with paths and shapes. We're going to start out with the first demo in transforming a type layer for use in a clipping mask. So we're going to open 12-1 from the drive where you store your data files, and then we are going to do a file, and we're saving this as skate park. Underscore your name. You want to make sure that the Essentials workspace is the space that we're working in. Geez Louise. All right, let's not do that. There we go. Now we're going to reset. We're going to go to Essentials, and you'll see that the which layers and which panels and toolboxes and so forth become available to us. And then we want to make active the intense type layer, so which it is. And then we are going to go to layer on the menu bar, and we are going to point to rasterize. And then what do we do next? Click type. And there we go. And you'll see immediately that it changes from a type layer to an image layer, basically. So I'm going to undo that so you can see. Initially it indicated a T that showed that there was type on that layer, and then after we rasterized it, it became a more of an image layer. Now we're going to go to Edit on the menu bar, point to Transform, and then click Skew. And we want to set -15 in the Set Horizontal Skew. There you go. And now you'll see that the type is slanted. You can also drag the handles surrounding the object until the skew is slanted to the extent that you want. And then we're going to click Commit Transform, the check mark up on your options bar, and then the transformation is set. Now we are going to create a clipping mask with this layer. So we're going to drag the intense layer beneath the boards layer. We're going to click the Indicates Layer Visibility button on the boards layer, on the Layers panel. And the boards layer is going to serve as the fill for the clipping mask. It's a good idea to first position that layer that will act as a mask above the layer containing the pattern so that you can adjust the size and shape of the pattern. After the size and shape are the way you want them, then reposition the mask layer beneath the pattern layer, which is exactly what we've done. Display legacy workspace. I did not create that legacy workspace, but if you did, you can certainly display that. And then we're going to point to the horizontal line between the intense and the boards layers, which are right here. and you're going to press and hold Alt if you're on a Windows, Option if you're on a Mac, and then click. And you will see that the mask is immediately created. And the board's image becomes visible through the text. And you'll see this little layer indicates that there's a layer mask between those two layers. Now you want to do a Command or Control S to save your work, and I am going to zoom in here a little bit tighter so you can see what that it's actually inside that word. Now we are going to again display the Essentials workspace, and we're going to hide the guides display. Now there's two methods you can do to turn off the display of guides. You can hide them using the Show command on the View menu, or you can clear them using the Clear Guides command on the View menu. Hiding the guides means that you can display them at a later time, while clearing them means that they're just gone. And so I would always hide them. So again, you would go under the View, under Show, and you'll see as soon as you unclick those guides in there hidden. Now the one thing, and we may do this a little bit later in the textbook as well, but the one thing that I wanted to show you is that this is the boards layer is just a little bit to the right of the entire word intense. And if I'm going to go through a couple of other exercises and then come back and show you how to reposition that so the image that you want showing through the letter forms is actually positioned where you want it. All right, let's see, I'll be back in just a second. All right, so I did want to show you just briefly how you would change that so that if you wanted the entire image inside the letter forms that you could do that. So you have to make sure that the boards layer is active, and you'll get the move tool, and then you can just click and drag that. Yeah, that's really that easy, but hold on a minute, let me do this again. You want to make sure that the boards layer is active, and then you just get the move tool and you can move that image inside the letter forms so that it makes it a little bit more positions it exactly where you want it. The other thing that I would do with this is once you get the image situated such, you'll see that the letters really aren't very readable. And so I would then make sure that the intense layer is highlighted, and then I'd go to the FX or the layer effects option down at the bottom of the layers panel, click on that, and then I would add a stroke. You're going to move this over so you can see this stroke that you're adding. And let's see. Now, if the stroke is here, let's go bump it back to about 2 points. Well, we'll say 5 points. We want to make sure that it's color that we like, that we can see, that's reproducible. And you want to position it to the outside of the letter forms. All right, and again here, you want to make sure that I changed the color to a pink color so we could see it a little bit better. And the size of the stroke is at 1 pixel. We wanted to make it 5 pixels. And then what I was changing before, which was the opacity, and I didn't really want to change the opacity, I wanted to change the size of the stroke. that's at 100%. And then you can see it a little bit better, obviously. If you want to just outline the letter forms, you'd have to move that back a little bit, even at 1 pixel. So then you can see the letter forms a little bit better. So again, anytime I do something like that, you always want to check the letter forms and make sure that what you're doing is making it not only compelling, but easy to read. All right, so now we're going to create a path in this exercise. We're going to click the Indicates Layer Visibility button on the Intense layer so that it's no longer visible. And then we are going to click the Skateboarder layer on the Layers panel. We're going to get the Freeform Pen tool on the Tools panel. And then we're going to click the Pick Tool Mode button on the Options bar and select Path if it's not already selected, which it is. And then we're going to click the Settings Option button on the Options bar, and we're going to adjust the settings so that our entire Options bar matches Figure 10. And so if you look at this, and this is the path, and then over here you click on that drop down menu on the settings, and the curve fit is 2 pixels. You want to click on the magnetic, and the width is going to be 5 pixels. Hit tab. The contrast is going to be 10%, which mine already is. Hit tab, and then the frequency is going to be 20. And you want to make sure that you have the pen pressure chosen. Now, using the magnetic freeform pen tool pointer, we're going to trace the skateboard under the skater, excluding the 3 protruding heels. And of course, I'm going to get it back in here a little bit closer so we can see what we're doing. Then we've closed that out. That's not such a great outline, but all right. Click when you reach the starting point, and the circle within a circle appears in the pointer, which we just did. You want to restore the zoom level, and then we're going to click on the Paths tab and double-click the Work Path layer on the Paths panel. All right, so we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the Paths panel. Mine's grouped with my Layers panel. We're going to double click on the Work Path layer, and then we're going to type skateboard. Is that what the name is supposed to be? And then click OK. And then compare your Path and Paths panel to Figure 11 or mine on the screen. So there's the path, and then this is the new path name. Now you can use the path selection or direct selection tool to drag more than one path, even if the paths are on different layers. So we're going to work on modifying a path in this next exercise, and I think I better upload this now. It's probably getting close to 15 minutes. I will be back and talk with you soon.